Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us here at the Campus Weather Service for a special live report on the blizzard of 2017. I'm Matt Honig alongside Amanda Reynolds, and Amanda, we have a lot to talk about this evening.
We most definitely do. The blizzard of 2017 beginning to impact parts of the Northeast, and that's actually two separate systems. We have one coming off the Atlantic that's going to be pushing from southeastern Pennsylvania northwestward towards parts of State College and areas westward, while we also have a second system that's moving in from the west that's currently impacting parts of Ohio and northwestern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, exactly. And these two storms are going to merge together off the coast, and they're going to blow up into this monster snowstorm that we've been talking about. Now, here in State College, we're expecting pretty hefty amounts, but as we head eastward, those amounts do increase, and also those storm impacts as well.
Yeah, with the details on all of those forecasts and where we could see the heaviest snow, I'm going to throw it over to Brian with the weather. Brian?
Thanks, guys. We're currently looking at numerous winter weather alerts all across the region. Here in State College, we are currently looking at a winter storm warning, and that goes until tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So this will be a long-duration event for central Pennsylvania. Off in western Pennsylvania, they're just looking at winter weather advisories. They're not looking at quite as much snow as we are here in central Pennsylvania. And then off in eastern Pennsylvania, notice about the eastern quarter of Pennsylvania or so, all under blizzard warnings, as well as the northern half of New Jersey, New York City, extending into New England. And those areas are going to be seeing very strong winds throughout the duration of the storm. They could even see wind gusts up near 60 or 70 miles per hour, potentially even hurricane force wind gusts during the storm. And those extend all the way up here into New England, pretty much the entire state of Connecticut, except for just the little bit here down on the southern edge. Massachusetts, much of the state under blizzard warnings, with the exception of Boston. They're just under the winter storm warnings. And then the blizzard warnings extend all the way up just north of Portland, Maine. So a huge area under blizzard warnings over by the coast. And then all the way up here, this goes until Wednesday at 5 a.m. So this will be a very long duration event for much of the region, especially into the northern tier of New England. So what are we actually looking at with this storm right now? Like they mentioned, there are two separate entities of this storm. We do have the bit coming in from the west. That's been bringing snow to much of the northern tier of the United States over the past couple of days, and it's just working its way into Pennsylvania now. And then we do have this, which is the main piece of this storm. This is the piece that's been coming up the coast now for the last 12 hours or so, and this is what's going to be the big snowmaker. Once these two systems kind of combine almost, especially over here into northeastern Pennsylvania, and even here in central Pennsylvania, we'll be getting some of the brunt of that as well. But notice down here, we do see the rain-snow line just about approaching Washington, D.C. They could be seeing sleet and some rain. That'll be bringing down some snow totals there, and that could be approaching Philadelphia, which could be impacting their snow totals as well. But over here in State College, notice we're currently in almost kind of a snow hole right here. It's snowing heavily off to our southeast and snowing off to our west as well, but not really here. However, notice it is beginning to fill in down to our south. So we'll be snowing here in State College probably a little bit after midnight is when we're expecting the snow to start falling here in Center County. And then taking a look at southeastern Pennsylvania, like I mentioned, you can kind of see it already down here, that rain-snow line beginning to creep into the picture. That could be impacting Philadelphia's snow totals. So that will be something that will need to be watched closely throughout the duration of the storm. So what kind of impacts are we actually looking at from this storm? The heaviest of the snow will be impacting Pennsylvania overnight tonight. We're expecting the heaviest stuff to move in around 3 or 4 a.m., and that'll stick around into the morning hours. Around 10 or 11 a.m. is when the heaviest stuff will begin to move out, but snow will continue into the afternoon hours, and it will begin to taper off into the mid-afternoon hours. And during the heaviest parts of the storm, places, especially to our south and east, especially eastern Pennsylvania, they could be seeing 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates. So that snow will just be piling up very quickly, which will lead to some of the very high snow totals, which we'll be taking a look at here in just a couple of minutes. And also, like we saw with those blizzard warnings, they will have very strong winds near the coast. Like I mentioned, some places could get even up near hurricane force wind gusts near the coast. And with that heavy snow blowing all around at hurricane force wind gust speed, that'll reduce visibilities to near zero, which is why we strongly recommend that you do not travel, especially drive, in these conditions and wait until the storm has passed and the roads are clear. So how much snow are we actually talking about? Well, here in central Pennsylvania for State College, we're looking at about 10 to 14 inches of snow, which is one of the biggest snowstorms we would have had here in State College in quite some time. A little bit less off to the west, 6 to 10 just west of State College, and then 1 to 3 inches down there in Pittsburgh, and then about 3 to 6 up in the northwest interior. A little bit more on the lakes as they get some lake effect near the end of the storm. But off to the east, that's where the big story is. That's where this 18 to 24 inch area is, and even 24 inches plus in places in northern New Jersey and into southern New York. And then those are the places that are going to see the highest amounts from this storm, like we see on this map, potentially over 2 feet of snow, which could make this a historic storm in some locations. So make sure you do stay tuned to the Penn State Campus Weather Service all throughout the storm. We will be going live at 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday, and we will be going live throughout the morning, throughout the brunt of this storm. And make sure you do follow us on Twitter at PSU Weather for all of the up-to-the-minute information on this storm. But for now, we're going to go back over to the desk with Amanda and Matt.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brian, for that great update. And as we could see from that snow map, this is going to be a very widespread and impactful storm for much of the Northeast.
It definitely is. But for tonight, that's all we have. Again, as Brian mentioned, make sure to join us around 6:30 tomorrow morning. You can find all of our latest forecasts by following us on Twitter at PSU Weather. You can also find us on Facebook by searching Campus Weather Service. For all of us here at the Penn State Campus Weather Service, have a great and a safe evening, as well as a safe Tuesday.